Happy New Year. So I'll be dropping a quick breakdown video on a few currency pairs and let's say US30, right? So I haven't dropped video in a while. So this is on USDJPY, the US dollar versus the Japanese yen, and I'll be giving you guys some few insights on what we should expect and what has been happening. So right, from October, right, we started the bearish movement on USDJPY, right? So we've been seeing lots of bearish movement, which is giving us the lower highs and the lower lows, right? So that's a bearish confirmation for a sell trend or a downtrend in USDJPY. This is the 4-hour time frame, right? Also, we see price creating a very clean structure and more like price has been creating lower lows and lower highs. Right, so at this point we had the lower shit. Alright, so at this point we had a lower low at this point, right? We see price creating some kind of equal lows at this point, right? After creating equal lows, we had a clean invalidation of that level, right? Which was the break of this point. We can see price giving us a breakout of this point. Creating a new low, a lower high, right? After that, price created lower lows, right? So lower highs, lower lows, right? So we're having what equal highs at this point, right? So I feel like when you're trading, right, you have to look at the overall market structure to understand your place in the market. You understand the kind of movement the market's actually giving you guys. So I feel like all you should have to do is understand market structure first of all. So since we understand the market structure on the 4-hour time frame, which is obviously bearish, right? So we have this as a market structure. This was the previous level, which gave us a clean we had a clean equal low at this point, right? We had equal lows, right? You can see price bouncing off these equal lows, then before invalidating the market at this point, right? So I feel USDJPY has some kind of behavioral movement which gives us like equal highs and equal lows, not necessarily double tops. It might be double tops, but not necessarily the double tops that are meant to sell. You understand? So we had equal lows at this point. We had some quick buys, then equal lows at this level for a break and a validation of this support zone, right? So we had price pullback to this level multiple times, about 3 times, and price tipped. This was the effect of the news, stuff like that, right? So we have a new level, right? So the new low was created, which is obviously this area. So we have price creating the new low. So it's more like giving us a market structure of a what? High, low, lower high. So there's new low at this point, right? So we have a new lower low at this level, right? So if we're trying to actually highlight the lower low, it's giving us some kind of steep bearish movement, you understand? So we're having lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. Understand? So market structure remains the same. High, low, lower high, let's say lower low. So we're having lower high right here, which also equal highs, right? So to make things clearer, I'll just clear out the whole drawings and just give it some kind of simplicity. So I feel like the key to trading is simplicity, being able to understand what you've done and others being able to understand what you've done, right? So we're having the first level right there, then the other level is this one right there. So we're having two pairs of market structure. So the thing comes in pairs, right? We have the lower highs and lower lows, that's a single pair. Then we're having lower highs and lower lows as a single pair too. So we're having another one forming at this point. So the lowest point of the chart will be highlighting that. So what is this saying? Any level above this previous market structure, which is the lower highs, right? So any level above this point, right, is giving us a kind of invalidation of the current market trend. You understand? So we're having a bearish trend. So any level above this point, we're giving us a invalidation of this bearish movement, giving us the expectancy of a buy or some kind of bullish movement above this level. But still, if price remains in this same bracket, right, we're having price in this same bracket at this point, right, we should expect what? More like consolidations. We could trade the highs and the lows, which is not really some kind of dope movement, right? Also, looking at from the swing opportunity, right, we're expecting sales below this level, which is giving us like continuation of the usual or market structure, which is a bearish trend, more like having your trend line saying we are having lower highs and lower lows, right? So any point below the structure will give us more sales, and any point below this yellow highlighted zone will give us more sales also. But any point above it is giving us a validation of this total structure for expectancy of buys, right? So that's just that on the 4 hour time frame. We don't really need much on if the 4 hour time frame is self-explanatory. It's giving us the total thing we need to look out for. Then any day trade or scalp trade you're looking out for should just be in accordance of these whole things happening right there. So that's that. So we'll look at US30 right now, which is the top G. Right, so we're looking at US30, we're using, let's try capital. Cool. Alright, so on US30 is giving us like nice movements, right? So on the 4 hour time frame, US30, you can see price giving us we're having a bullish US30. We had a bullish US30 last year from October, and also, right, price is currently at a very like important level, right? We see price creating serious liked zone, you understand, like some kind of familiar zones. We had previous resistance at this point. We have a good support right here, and we have price giving us a good support right here. So it's more like the basics of trading, right? There's really no like holy grail to trading. Everything is just like what we learned from the beginning, support and resistance. To get, so I'll try to look out for another US30 chart. This one's has some kind of gaps. So let's try currency.com. So I'll just try Black Bull. Let's see. Right, it's almost the same. So as I was saying, right, so we add this is the 4 hour time from a US30, really just straightforward. So US30 is really easy to analyze because we're understanding the behavior of US30. So price created what we have on what we call a support at this point, right? Because price has tested this level for buys in the past, right? Price tested again for buys and also tested. So we have about 3 supports on this simple level, right? So after that, the highs of the chart is this level. Understand? So that's the highest point price has gotten to, or if you're looking at it from the weeks side, we understand that this is the highest point on the 4 hour time frame price has gotten to. So this is the low of the chart, right? So the whole movement and liquidity happening is it's actually like happening within these 2 zones. Do you understand? Everything is happening within these 2 zones. So from this point to this point, that's what we have in the total movement in US30 for the year before any invalidation. So on the 4 hour time frame, it's really explanatory that we have intermediary zones, which is more like a zone that's actually a support and a resistance at the same time. So at this point, we could see price creating a nice intermediary zone at this point. We have price creating this level as a support, right? We also have this level as a support. We have this level as a support too, right? We now have this whole levels as a resistance. Do you understand? So now, if you're a price action trader, you understand that we have a support and resistance, which is also saying if price is above a previous resistance, we're looking at for buys. If price is below a previous support, we're looking at for sales. Do you understand? So now understanding that kind of concept is really straightforward. The news we had last week actually gave us a very strong push to the top side, which invalidated, which gave us some kind of confirmation for this ascending triangle, right? If you understand what ascending triangle means, or if you don't understand, just go to the internet, right? So ascending triangle gave us a kind of confirmation that we're expecting more buys, right? That's market structure or that's market patterns, right? So ascending triangle for more buys and break of previous level, which is also resistance at this point, right? So break of this level, this is the resistance level. Break of this level was another confirmation for what extra buys for continuations of buys, right? And also the break of the level gave us a very clean support, which is more like a pullback to the breakout. So the pullback to the breakout of a previous resistance will give us a new support, right? So the pullback to this level gave us a new support at this point, right? Which gave us the idea to buy. You could see the buy on Instagram, like we had a clean buy from this level, right? Having our stop loss, let's say somewhere below this level, right? And expecting price to push to the first resistance, which is this level, right? So the first resistance is this level. So we can't really determine if price is going to get here or whatever, because we're just trying to react to the market though. So the first reaction we have into the market is price testing out the previous first structure, which is this level. Then if more volatility comes in the market, right, and we're having more bulls in power, so we understand that price might definitely want to push up to this point, right? But for now, we're just keeping our bias open to this level, which is about which is how many points or how many pips? So which is about 400 pips, you understand, almost 500 pips if price is pushing up to this point, and which is a decent, very decent market movement, right? So on the 4 hour time frame, we had US30 like slaughter because it's really not lot much to do. There's nothing much to do. Just understand the market is giving us a market pattern, which is the ascending triangle, first of all, and we having price creating nice price action patterns, which is break of previous intermediary support became a new resistance, and now it's support, right? So this is our second watch. So if you're looking at this level also, we have price giving us intermediary level at the point, right? We have price creating this same level, like giving the same level as the previous watch, resistance at this point, support right here, support resistance, then also resistance at this point. So we're expecting price to just test this level first of all for the major take profit. Then if price can actually invalidate this level, we might expect what a push to the top side. But we'll keep our bias open at this point, right? We're not trying to predict, we're just trying to react. So two things could happen at this level. So the test of this level might create a new equal highs for a bearish push to the downside, or break of this level create invalidation of this intermediary zone, right? Invalidation of this total zone for a push to the top side, which will give us rise to a new higher high. So we're still keeping our bias open though, but that's just like a short breakdown on US30 and everything that you need to know about US30, right? So we'll talk about this more in the new bars the plug, which is on the charts and beyond course coming out this month, right? January 2023, you understand? So we'll just pull out total like a whole lot of information out there, and you guys understand more about trading and how we analyze the market. But still, we're still bullish on US30, baby. So let's go.